Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Today we are doing the Daily Color Big in Romantic Country, working on finishing up the Gardening Shelves page. I am ready to work on, I've got the seeds box, and then I have these two funky boxes that I really think I want to make to just keep it simple. I think I want to make them terracotta planter boxes instead of pots, with gold decoration. And then I want to work on the shadowing. Let's see, offline I have worked a few more leaves, and then I got all busy with the purple for the flowers. And every one of the flowers is done. I wanted to do one more set of flowers with you. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's 3 on the other side. And next thing you know, I did them. I can't believe it. I was so silly. So we've got at least this one box and then the seeds. As far as color for the seeds packaging, I haven't really thought through what the packaging would best look like. It probably could just be like a craft paper color, somewhat like either the basket. I noticed the basket, for whatever reason, came out much more yellow. I wonder if I grabbed a more yellow tone from my Lazy Susan here. Like maybe that yellowy tone is this 93. Because if you'll compare the basket to the hat, they're very different looking. So it's kind of funny how those things happen. So then after I finish the seeds box, which I am going to just grab the same chair colors, which is these 3. I have 114 handy. 114 is a core color on this whole page. It is the ink that the book is done in. The closest match is this 114. And I believe 114 are these shelves that I still see a little tooth, and I'll probably smooth those out with either a blender pen, or if I can find a tone, this sepia-esque tone. So I will play with the darkening of that, because this particular one I think is too light. These little dots I want to have be gray, you know, like iron colored. So now we're getting down to kind of the more finishing touches, as well as the shadowing. I still have the grass at the very bottom. I have picked out a grass color, but I don't think I'm going to work on that. I think I'm going to work top to bottom. And we're going to be finishing this up. I think next week will be the last 2. We're just going to do the 2 episodes. Today is Friday, so today and tomorrow. No, I think today is the last one of this, because I did the pots. I also wanted to share, I hope you can see that each of the pots, like this pot is very deep, but very smooth colored. This pot is not quite as deep as this one, but I also added some textury bits to it that I can see close up. I left the front pot the very lightest, added a little bit of tone to these 2, and then made this one in the back very dark with some, I see horizontal lines in it. So I didn't smooth it out, but I didn't make it as rough as this one. So that's just kind of fun to keep a grouping of items similar yet different. So let's get up to the seeds. I have my 3. I've got 20, 117, and 23. Off to the side, if I want to use any lighter, I do have that 93, and I have one more. I have my 3 orangey browns, and then I have this one, number 22. So I have a whole array of colors if I want to make the box a little bit different tones, so it's not all the same as the other wood elements on the page. Yeah, so this 93 is what the basket has, as well as the tops of the jars and the handles. So I'll start with this. Again, this book I can't really turn the way I would like to. As a left-handed person, I would want the seeds to be going this direction, and I'd be drawing this direction. I can fold the right side of the book. I can curl it. That's what I did actually earlier this week. But I'm trying to not do that, and maybe I'll get some neat textures. Notice I'm holding the pencil quite far back, just kind of roughing in. I will tell you I might get a phone call. My mom's husband ordered some parts for his golf cart, and he desperately wants those parts today because they're fun projects for him to work on. So I gave them the mail key, and I've never showed them how to get your packages out of, there's the metal boxes that you see where the postman leaves, like for an entire neighborhood. You'll get a key in your mailbox, and you go to that, whichever number is yours, and you open the key, and the key stays in it. So that's what they get to do. I don't know that they've ever done that. So I might get a phone call. I'm actually filming on Hub's phone because I really like it. I think the word seeds, I am just going to go ahead and let it be dark over the top of the wood, like so. I might not go as dark. Kind of leave seeds a little bit lighter so it's easy to read. I am doing wood grain with a pretty loose hand, light pressure. I hope everybody is having a good week. We managed to finally go and empty our pod. So I am sitting here down in the craft room, and up in the living room is a whole bunch of boxes. And I would say it was 75% my crafting supplies, old paper crafting, like paper, a ton of paper. I have what's called the tower of paper, as I call it. And it is all of the 12 by 12 pads that I've purchased over the years, maybe used 5 pieces, and have the entire pad still left. These are pads from before the day that I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So of course I have all the current papers. I have retired papers from Stampin' Up! And now the Tower of Paper. I have to figure out some fun community way to use this paper up. And it's not necessarily for holidays, it's just all different kinds. In fact, I think I have very little Christmas paper in the tower. And the tower is a commercial from a scrapbooking store that closed down, so it holds a lot. So I am surrounded by cubes because I had a cube system. I do not want a desktop. I had a countertop, linoleum or laminate, linoleum, whatever the word is. And I'm going to just use the cubes for setting out my cuddle bugs. I have 2 of them. And then I have a paper cutter I call Carl because it's a Carl brand paper cutter. And half of my cubes, no, 6 of them, are going to be dedicated to colored pencil supplies, mainly my coloring books. I did a video when I was at my mom's, sharing with you my rehaul of everything that I had stuffed in storage. So that particular bin is here. Then I have 2 other bins full of coloring books, and those are all going to go up high on above my cabinets. And so I'm pretty excited to work on it, but I knew that I had to video today. And then I have my big once a month video for my other channel that I will be doing probably tomorrow. Then I can work on my storage and organization. One exciting thing, I had bought the Caran d'Ache Luminance 72 set a long time ago. And I have my empty case. I also, somewhere, I believe in a box, I have my 2 Faber-Castell tins. The Albrecht Dürer and the Polychromos. So those will get put away. I keep all of my packaging. Alright, so I just was trying to color this without, a definite color in mind. I just wanted to add some light layers. And now we'll go in and I'm going to add some wood grain. And then I think I'm going to do some dark wood grain. And then that will be done. It's kind of a mix. Looking at it, I don't know if you can see it like I see it. But it looks like it has a little bit of all of the colors of these different wood elements. Now we have some fairly thick plank marks here. And I'm just going to extend them. I'd like to hint that these could possibly be planks all the way across. Just a hint. For fun. I'm going to add a little shading on the ends. And along the bottom. Our nature trail behind us here was been closed since the hurricane. And as of today, it is reopened, so I have back to seeing some traffic. They didn't close it like there's some gates. There are 5 entrances, 1, 2, 3, 5 entrances and exits along this trail. We can actually, since it's our backyard, we can just walk from the door to the trail. And they have gates only on 3 of them. 2 of them are open, so everyone's been using the trail kind of partially. And that part of the trail hub had cleaned up right afterward. And it's not even very long. But now, so I'm just going to leave that just like that. I might run through, when I darken up the 3 shelves, I might play with that a little bit more, do a little more blending. Now I want to, we're going to do craft. Let's see, what can I do for an interesting, I already have this taupe for the seeds. I'm not sure what color the seeds could be. They would probably be natural colored. So I think I'm going to take, I don't think this is very orange, which I don't want, even though the barrel says orange or rust colored, it's 21. I'm going to go ahead and start with this tone. I'm just being very casual for these elements. They're small. And then I might just go ahead and commit to the planter, the rectangle planters. Okay, so there's the base color. But now I am looking for something to tone that down. So number 20. I'm trying really hard to just reuse all of the brown tones throughout the page. I'm actually going ahead and using this color. I feel that the light layering that I did is ready to burnish. So I'm just letting it burnish. Letting it be finished. Where this wood down here, I never burnished this. You can still see quite a bit of tooth, and then this is all tooth of the paper, making it white. So that I'm going to do some other layers too, but this part here, the little packaging, the seed packages, I'm just going to let those be done just like that. I'm going to set, I've got all of these wood tones now. I'm going to grab the pot colors. I have the lightest and the darkest. If I could make them stay still, that would be great. Again, everything is tilted because it's sitting in my lap. And then this is the middle tone, 21. All right. I'm going to set down all of the wood tones that I am done with, because I might need them. All right, so this is what I'm going to use, and I'm going to work on these pots. It will be awkward because I really would love to rotate it. And I'm going to start with the darkest on the ends and the dark in here as the shadow. Because I promised I would get this done, and that way, once I commit, I don't get to change my mind. Well, I haven't heard from my mom yet. Hopefully they figured out the key. Unless it's a very small package. They didn't even really know what it was that he ordered. Something from Amazon. So hopefully this week things will somewhat return to normal. We've been watching a couple of possible tropical storms brewing. One in the Atlantic. It's now, I think it's now worked its way west but south of Florida. And I don't believe that either are turning into anything interesting, though. The one that's south of the Gulf, I think, was supposed to maybe turn into a tropical storm for a short bit, and it's dumping a whole bunch of rain. But it is not going to make it to Florida. And I am totally okay with that. I've got some plants that I have stabilized in the event. One is really tall. It's this super tall rubber plant. I mean, it's like 9 feet tall and skinny. And it does have a stick, but I just didn't think that it was going to hold up by itself with just a stick. So I put some shepherd hooks, really tall ones that I have, wrapped to it. And the neighbor said that they were swaying pretty good, but that they did not fall over. So I don't want to take those down only to have to put them back up again. So I have worked my way to the lightest tone, which is the orangey tone. I forgot to do dark on this other end. Still just doing very light layers. Hub is very excited to be reunited with his big stand mixer. I don't know what fun thing he'll make. He's made some fun things in the past with it. I noticed he took it out of the box and has it out. He doesn't even know where he's going to put the kitchen stuff that he decided he had to have. And then I have a hutch that right now I've been using it to keep cards that people send me. And I get to put my grandma's china in it, so that's going to come after I get the craft room organized. It's very strange to be reunited with things that are from your past, that you've been separated from for many years. We have not moved more than, from one town right next to the other town or city, pretty much for all of our married years. So this is by far our biggest move that we have ever completed. We did also, I used to make garments, casual, sweatshirts, hoodies, and that kind of thing for horse show people, as well as did some decorating of show clothes, but just real casual stuff, nothing fancy. So we used a lot of them. We picked out favorites, mostly my favorites, and we used them to wrap a lot of our stuff. Oh, somebody's up. So we get to unwrap all of those items and find places for the clothing to be. I don't even know if I will keep a lot of the garments because they're all decorated. I decorated them all with vinyl and rhinestones, but I don't know that I will keep them because I very seldom have to wear anything warm here. Even though it's only 79 degrees out, I am wearing shorts and a tank top. So this is coming along nicely. Very soon here, if I just keep the light layering going, it will start to burnish itself. I can, if I want to go faster, I can increase my pressure. If I'm interested in just letting the layers and the colors build themselves up, I don't have to add any more pressure, and eventually it will happen. These are a nice non-slick. When they do burnish, they don't get all slick. They don't really have wax bloom. I actually don't experience a lot of wax bloom, even though I do really love the final waxy, shiny finish. And my trick is when it gets all, like you see the pencil marks, I use a paper towel to smooth it off so that you don't see them as pencil marks. But I just don't see a lot of wax bloom. Maybe I don't color in the way that will produce it. I don't really know. I would say most of my pencils are more on the side of oils. I think I'm using heavy pressure now. I would like the ends to be darker. I see dark undertones now, but not actual darker. So this is kind of the final burnishing of each end with the darkest, which is 24. Now what I'd like to do is get rid of that line, kind of soften it. Come in with, I think 21 is the lightest, 25 is the middle. Oh, nope. This is the middle. 25 is the lightest. The orangey color. I will come back in with the Posca, gold or silver, probably gold. Super light. I could erase a little bit, even up the highlight area. All right, done. All right, so up above. Here we are. This is the upper corner. Am I zoomed in? I am. So there's kind of what it looks like. I am going to begin to block in with 117, 114. 114. I think 114 is still here. Right here. Alright, so 114, that's kind of the base color. And I'm going to be darkening all these little bits in the very corner, and I will lighten the amount of the shadows as I get toward, you can see where I start to have the brick shape. I'm not going to show all of this, but I will show a good chunk of it. I won't be using any black. This in essence is the black, the darkest color. You can see it's a very close match to the ink lines. Because I know I want it to be full color, I'm just using heavy pressure. So let's get this one done heavy pressure. Okay, now I have to be somewhat careful to not go too dark. I want to have it be somewhat of a gradient. I have a little bit of a brick right here. I see another little hint of a brick. Okay, so now these brick bottoms are the darker, and then the mortar is lighter. So I can do something like that and make up a fake. This is the top. There's a bottom. This is brick color. I have two lighter colors. I have not even really established the mortar color. I do have two colors of interest over here. 64 and 67 might be helper shadow colors for the background. And I think between these three, they make a light, medium, and dark. And I always do my light on the bottom. So these three are probably going to be the three that I focus on for the background. 114 being the darkest shadow. So this color is nice and light, and it will probably be the mortar color. If I come out here a little bit, I'm just doing it very light. I don't even know how, detailed and realistic I need this to be. I think just the hint of these details. Then let's take a look at the middle tone, 67. And again, I am just very casually now once I commit to this, every one of these bricks will get colored in. I guess I would call this somewhat sketchy. I'm going back in where I had started to lighten up the shading, and I'm adding some actual leaf shadows. Going back, grabbing the light. So this light that is the mortar can also be what I use to blend out the middle tone. So this is what's going to take quite a bit of time. Again, the middle tone is 67. 114 is the darkest. And I only have 3 that I'm using. So this is the middle. Back to do some more mortar. I have a little green right there. Do I have my eraser? No. Huh, I wonder where I put it. And it could be buried. So let's try the little mono. Oh, that worked pretty good. I did get a text. Let's see who that is. So here is sort of what the corner is shaping up like. No text from Mom. So it is literally going to be going from brick to brick, doing light, medium, and dark. Light for the mortar. Darkest 114 for shadows on these leaves. Now let's see, this is the one right here that I had to make the brick longer. So let's just see. And like to me, I look at this and it's kind of in the quote-unquote ugly phase. But I know that I will just keep doing layers. I will keep adding more depth, adding the different colors. And then when I get more of the area done, it will all kind of naturally, hopefully, fade away. I want it to not be the dominant part of the picture. So I will just painstakingly keep on keeping on. This is that middle tone. So I'm not sure how dark I will go in the end. Now at the very bottom of these, to give them a 3D effect, I'm going pretty dark. This is really thick right here. The mortar is thick, so I am whitening. Alright, over here we've got some shadowy bits. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're at 43 minutes. So, I'm going to offline continue more. I will try to get this corner, the green, all done so that you can see it tomorrow, and we will be just continuing on, probably flowing down. I'd like to work on this center section, and then we were going to move on straight on down into the pots. We'll just see how far we get. I will be doing the next bit of this early next week, because tomorrow is Saturday and we are going to do the lighthouse in a bottle using the Color 120 black barrels. So do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, consider subscribing, and we will do this all again tomorrow. I hope to see you there.